Howdy everyone, welcome to MMO TCG 201 Lesson 1. Today we're looking at deck archetypes from a high level, and then we're going to take a look at how shard types fit into those various archetypes. In PvP, there are three general archetypes: aggro, control, and combo. Aggro decks are fast-paced decks that maximize their resources so that they can quickly defeat an opponent, most often utilizing troop cards. Control decks attempt to change the pace of the game to reach higher resources and threshold amounts, all the while hobbling or disabling the opponent. Combo decks look to exploit card interactions for some unusual effects and different win conditions. Each of these types attempt to exploit a broad strategy, but in doing so they end up limiting their effectiveness in other areas. Aggro decks are very quick, but they can stumble when they're hit with large amounts of removal cards. Control decks are reliant on having the correct countermeasures for the opponent and may not have the right cards in their hand at the right time. Combo decks are even more susceptible to variations in card drawing, as that type wants to exploit specific cards to win. Aggro decks and control decks can be at full steam before a combo deck has the right pieces in place to be able to win. Aggro can be too quick for control decks on a bad draw, and a combo deck may get enough time to execute if that control deck delays for too long. Both control and combo decks use removal cards to fight the speed of aggro decks. But in addition to these main types, there are multiple hybrids that we'll cover later in this lesson. What's important to note is that each of these fall onto the strategy continuum in different spots. If you decide to build a deck based on an archetype, you can use that strategy continuum to help select your card pool to build your deck. So to help with this, the shard types generally follow several archetype themes. Ruby, Wild, and Blood shards have great aggro type cards. Ruby also has, as well as Sapphire, Diamond, cards that have great control styles. Sapphire, Wild, Diamond, and Blood each have combo potential cards. These colors are not exclusive by any means to a specific archetype, but their cards trend towards those archetypes. You may have noticed that the shard types have cards that fill multiple roles. This is true, and because of this, hybrid archetypes are common. These are aggro control, control combo, aggro combo, and the melting pot of them all, aggro combo control. These sub-archetypes are common in tournaments as players attempt to balance the strengths and weaknesses of each type that they'll play. Aggro control decks slow down the speed of a deck by inserting removal cards to deal with those most effective stumbling blocks. Control combo decks attempt to control the board state while putting in the pieces of a devastating combo. Aggro combo uses the early speed of the deck to disorient an opponent and then set up a game-ending combination. And then aggro combo control attempts to take the best from all three archetypes. Those decks tend to go in two broad directions. They're either disjointed and unable to draw the right solution at the right time, or a player has found a high level of synergy between cards and the deck is well tuned to the point where it is devastating. When working with the archetypes, it's best to pick one that suits your personality and style to learn first. When you've become comfortable with a high-level type, then you try working with a hybrid type. If you plan on becoming a pro player, you'll need to know and play each archetype to have an instinctive feel for each. This means a lot of playtime and styles that may not suit you very well, but the learning and information a pro player gets from those first-hand games is what allows them to make better deck choices. Now this also means playing and working with shards of all types. Patience and grit are required, as pros lose as often as they win. They just make sure that their losses are all in training in between competitions. In our next lesson, we're going to begin to look at multi-shard decks and what we should keep in mind when building and playing them. So if you want some additional reading on archetypes, check out Mugen Muso's article at thehexrealms.com in the link in the description. If you want to stay up to date on these lessons as they're released, hit the subscribe button. If you want to help your friends get prepared for Hex, don't forget to hit the like button and share the video. Till our next lesson, I'm Mokog, and this is Hex Center.